The old wooden gate creaked as it swung open, revealing a garden that had once been a sanctuary. Now, it was a tangle of weeds and broken fences. Clara stood at the threshold, her heart heavy with memories and regrets. She had returned to her childhood home after years of estrangement, driven by a need to reconnect with her past and possibly herself. "It's a mess," she murmured, stepping onto the overgrown path. The vibrant blooms she remembered were nowhere to be seen, replaced by a chaotic sprawl of green. "Clara, is that you?" a voice called from behind. She turned to see Mrs. Thompson, her neighbor from across the street, approaching with a hesitant smile. "Mrs. Thompson," Clara replied, surprised. "It's been a long time." "Indeed it has. I heard you were back. Thought I'd come see if you needed any help." Mrs. Thompson's eyes scanned the garden. "Your grandmother would be heartbroken seeing this." Clara felt a pang of guilt. "I know, I should have come back sooner." "Well, you're here now. Let's start with the fence. It'll give us a place to begin." Mrs. Thompson rolled up her sleeves and picked up a fallen board. As they worked, Clara began to remember the stories her grandmother used to tell her while they tended the garden together. "She always said this garden was a place of healing," Clara said, her voice soft. "Your grandmother was a wise woman," Mrs. Thompson replied. "She believed in the power of nature to mend what's broken." They worked in silence for a while, the only sounds the rustling of leaves and the occasional chirp of a bird. Then Mrs. Thompson spoke again. "You know, Clara, we all go through hard times. What matters is how we come back from them." Clara looked up, meeting her neighbor's eyes. "I've been broken for a long time. I don't know if I can come back." "We all have our scars," Mrs. Thompson said gently, "but they don't define us. They're just a part of our story." As the days passed, more neighbors and old friends came by, each bringing a piece of Clara's past with them. Tom, her childhood friend, arrived with a bag of tools and a grin. "Heard you were taming the wild," he said, dropping the bag at her feet. "More like it's taming me," Clara laughed, a sound she hadn't heard in years. "Well, you've got a willing slave for as long as you need," Tom declared, picking up a shovel. "Thanks, Tom. I could use the help," Clara smiled, feeling a warmth she hadn't known she missed. As they worked, Tom shared stories of their youth, making Clara laugh and cry in equal measure. "Remember the time we tried to build a treehouse and ended up with a pile of sticks?" he asked. "How could I forget?" Clara chuckled. "We were so sure we'd create something amazing." "And we did, in our own way," Tom said. "Sometimes the journey is more important than the destination." Their conversations often drifted to deeper topics: resilience, healing, and the passage of time. Clara found herself opening up, sharing pieces of her broken heart she kept hidden for so long. One afternoon, as they took a break under the old oak tree, Clara turned to Tom. "Do you ever feel like you're just barely holding it together?" Tom nodded. "All the time. But that's okay. We're allowed to be fragile. It's part of being human." "I've been so afraid to show my weakness," Clara admitted. "Afraid people would see me as broken." "But we're all broken in some way," Tom said softly. "It's how we put ourselves back together that matters." As the garden began to bloom again, so did Clara's spirit. The once ruined plot became a vibrant tapestry of colors and life, a testament to resilience and healing. And as the neighbors and friends continued to visit, sharing their stories and offering their help, Clara realized she wasn't alone. She was a part of a community, bound by shared experiences and the hope of a brighter future. In the end, it wasn't just the garden that had been restored. It was Clara herself, finding strength in the connections she had rekindled and the memories she had embraced. Chapter 3: The Power of a Gentle Decline. In the hustle and bustle of modern life, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the constant demands on our time and energy. Whether it's work projects, social invitations, or family obligations, the pressure to say yes can be suffocating. However, learning the art of saying no is not just an act of self-preservation, it's a crucial skill for maintaining your well-being and fostering healthier relationships. Understanding the importance of boundaries. Boundaries are the invisible lines we draw to protect our physical, emotional, and mental space. They try to help us define what is acceptable and what is not, ensuring that we don't become overwhelmed or taken advantage of. Without clear boundaries, we risk burning out, experiencing resentment, and damaging our relationships. Saying no is an essential component of boundary setting. It allows you to prioritize your needs without feeling guilty. When you say no, you're not just declining a request, you're affirming your worth and respecting your limits. The guilt trip, overcoming it. One of the biggest obstacles to saying no is the fear of guilt. Society often conditions us to believe that saying no makes us selfish or uncooperative. However, this couldn't be farther from the truth. Saying no is an act of self-respect and honesty. To overcome the guilt trip, start by reframing your mindset. Understand that your well-being is not a luxury, it's a necessity. When you prioritize your needs, you're better equipped to show up for others. Think of it as putting on your own oxygen mask before assisting others on a flight. Crafting your no. Saying no doesn't have to be abrupt or rude. In fact, a well-crafted no can maintain and even strengthen relationships. Here are some tips for saying no gracefully. 1. Be honest but tactful. Instead of saying, I don't want to, try, I appreciate the invitation, but I have prior commitments. 2. Offer an alternative. If you're declining a social invitation, suggest an alternative time or activity. I can't make it this weekend, but let's plan something for next month. 3. Keep it simple. Sometimes a straightforward no is all that's needed. Thank you for thinking of me, but I won't be able to attend. 4. Express gratitude. Showing appreciation for the invitation or request can soften the decline. I'm honored you asked, but I need to decline. 5. Set clear boundaries. If the request is something you frequently decline, set a boundary. I usually don't take on extra projects on the weekends to maintain a work-life balance. The ripple effect. Saying no not only benefits you, but also has a positive ripple effect on those around you. When you set boundaries, you model healthy behavior for others. Your friends, family, and colleagues will likely respect your boundaries and may even feel empowered to set their own. Moreover, when you're not spread too thin, you're more present and engaged in the commitments you do honor. The quality presence strengthens your relationships and makes your yeses more meaningful. Practice makes perfect. Like any skill, saying no gets easier with practice. Start small by declining minor requests and gradually work your way up to more significant commitments. Pay attention to how you feel after saying no. Notice any relief, peace, or empowerment. These emotions are signs that you're on the right path. Conclusion. Mastering the art of saying no is a transformative practice that empowers you to live a more balanced and fulfilling life. It allows you to honor your needs while maintaining healthy relationships. Remember, saying no is not a rejection of others, but a celebration of yourself. Embrace it, practice it, and watch as it enhances every aspect of your life.